Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a Spider Pig. Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a Spider Pig. Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a Spider Pig. Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a Spider Pig. Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a Spider Pig. Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Oh, he is a Spider Pig.
Blade vs. Wolverine comic explored. Most confrontations that involve Blade and Wolverine end up being on the violent side. They seldom pull punches and frequently exit a battle covered in blood, generally that of another person. When a gang of vampire baddies known as the Creed causes a commotion, they are drawn to a mystery temple in Belize, where they will fight. What is their relationship with the Creed and its peculiar ruler, the Varkas? Who will survive this temple? Dave Wilkins is an artist with a distinct visual storytelling style that lends itself perfectly to action sequences and blockbuster imagery. The early pages depicting Wolverine and Blade slicing their way through a swarm of vampires are breathtaking. These are a few of the most inventive kills you're likely to witness in any comic book ever. Wilkins divides a stunning double-page spread into smaller panels, each focusing on a lethal strike. Wolverine's claws are like a hot knife cutting through butter when it comes to vampire flesh. With huge teeth that cannot be confined by their jaws, the vampires appear appropriately horrible. Their skin looks sickly and swollen with abnormal veins. They remind of a modern-day Nosferatu. We have the finest of both worlds here, as they die in a bloodbath before bursting in flames, leaving nothing but ash behind. Wilkins is at home with this particular graphic novel. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Blade vs. Wolverine. A battle to spawn legends. Years ago, in Madripoor, two powerful men, who are the greatest at what they do, stood side by side. Blade says it's nice to see Wolverine, and that it has been a while. Though Wolverine feels it has not been long enough, Blade asks Wolverine whether he is still upset over the hypodermic needle that was inserted in his neck. Wolverine becomes enraged, shouts, and informs him that it was actually a hypodermic filled with vampire blood. Blade informs him that he didn't think of him as the type of person who would hold a grudge, but it's amusing that Wolverine mentioned vampires. Wolverine, however, feels his comment isn't humorous. He swipes his sharp claws, effortlessly severing a vampire's head in three. It admits that he may have lied, and that this was amusing. Blade slashes through yet another vampire and wonders what a decent guy like Wolverine was doing inside an evil temple in the first place, and Wolverine starts to explain that he's retaliating. He alleges that the vampires murdered and sacrificed a friend's daughter in some sicko ceremony, but as soon as he is done speaking, one of the monsters swings his blade, severing a portion of Wolverine's shoulder. Blade cuts up another head and informs Wolverine that this particular vampire sect is known as the Creed. Wolverine tells Blade that it does not matter, and that they all cut up the same, while his shoulder recovers. Wolverine then starts to brutally make his way through the thick swarm of vampires by punching, slicing, and ripping apart each of them, until finally none of them remain. Blade asks him if he's done. As Wolverine steps out dripping with the blood of the vampires he just slaughtered, he tells Blade, yeah, just about. And so, that was the end of the vampire cult. Or at least, that was what the two of them thought. 6 months later, in New York City, Wolverine finds himself fighting against a mutant calling herself the Dragoness. X-Force gives him details about her, and it seems that she has been killing mutants and humans alike. It's anyone's guess why she is at a construction site. Wolverine does not really have an explanation for what goes down next, except that isn't very promising. He kills Dragoness with a wooden stake, and she crumbles into a heap of dust and smoldering ash, which can only mean one thing. Dragoness had been transformed into a vampire. There was something stashed here once more, a chest with a recognizable insignia. What did Blade name the cult in the temple a few months ago? What exactly is the creed? Meanwhile, Blade is carrying out what he does best, slaying vampires in Germany. However, Count von Stadt is not like the rest. He has the ability to fire laser beams from his eyeballs, which is unusual in the vampire world. But powerful explosives have never disappointed Blade before, so why should they now? As Blade hits the trigger, the Count's castle collapses on top of them, and von Stadt attempts to extract himself from beneath a heap of rubble, all the while screaming that he would bathe in Blade's blood. Blade dons his coat and informs the Count that it doesn't look promising. He also asks the Count if he wants to talk about why he can shoot freaking lasers out of his eyes, and the Count responds with a few choice comments. Blade didn't expect much from him in the first place, but the ink on the Count's appears to be the Creed emblem. 6 months ago, the Creed was meant to be eradicated. The Count mocks Blade and tells him that he wiped out nothing, since the cult knew he was coming and that it was prophesied. Blade smiles as he walks away. He enjoys the morning light as the sun rises and the dawn burns. Back in New York, Wolverine gave the chest he found to Dr. Strange, the only guy who knows about the Strange. Dr. Strange examines the box and informs Wolverine that the magics blocking it are of vampire origin, and the marks on the box belong to the Creed. The Creed worships a figure known as Varkus, who is similar to a messiah. According to prophecy, he will one day unify all of the vampire houses under his banner. Wolverine feels it sounds like something they would want to avoid. Strange believes that the Dragoness was attempting to conceal the box, since it may be the vessel used to execute Kandra. When Wolverine wonders what it is, Strange opens the box and reveals to him that the Kandra is the only way to kill Varkus. Varkus, according to the Creed scriptures, may only be killed in the way represented in the Kandra. Strange asks Wolverine if he recognizes anything as the scroll unfolds into a picture. Wolverine nods, then realizes it's an image of him battling Blade. Later in Belize, Wolverine hacks his way through the jungle in search of another Creed temple. He actually never really liked Blade, so learning that he is in better condition is a bit upsetting. As Wolverine steps in, Blade looks down and tells him that it's a bit disheartening that his contact told him that the Creed's messiah was a mutant vampire. He assumed it would be someone like Beast or Nightcrawler. He leaps from the shadows and Wolverine twists back, lunging. Wolverine swings his arms carelessly, leaving himself exposed for Blade to dive his sword clean through his chest. Wolverine hunches over, but suddenly leans back, pulling the sword from his chest, prompting Blade to shout, "Well, damn!" Wolverine slashes violently, tearing Blade's face and pushing him back. But as Wolverine advances, Blade tosses forth two special blades. The blades pierce Wolverine's chest, causing him to stagger. He pulls them out and inquires of Blade whether they are anti-vampire weapons. He also questions Blade's decision to toss them at him rather than the vampires. Blade informs Wolverine that he is now a vampire, and Wolverine informs him that Blade is also a vampire. Wolverine asks Blade whether he is Varkus, and Blade is startled that Wolverine is aware about Varkus's existence. Wolverine examines the scroll and declares that the picture on the scroll depicts how the Messiah's final struggle was intended to go down. Blade takes a look at it and says neither of them are Varkus, and that it does not make sense. A voice then declares that everything makes perfect sense. It all depends on how they look at it. Both guys turn to see a man dressed in armor, who looks precisely like Wolverine, and Wolverine explains that it's strange sometimes in his line of work. Blade informs him that he is truly intrigued about Wolverine's twin. Wolverine pops his claws and says that he is as well, and that they should go ask him. Wolverine charges at Varkus, and Varkus bursts his bone claws while telling Wolverine that his claws don't seem familiar. Varkus then asks Wolverine if he recalls the enormous piece that was taken out of his shoulder all those months ago. Wolverine stabs him and says that he doesn't understand, since he has left pieces of his body all over the world, but none of them have regrouped into another version of him. Varkus confirms that, however, in this instance, vampire magic was utilized. Hordes of vampires begin to flood out, and taunt Blade, but with a single twirl of his blade, he easily silences them all. Wolverine then loudly calls out and says that he has an idea, and that he needs Blade to take over. Blade turns back and cuts off Varkus's claws and slams a stake into his chest. Varkus's body bursts into flames, but after a very short period, he returns smiling and tells them that he has a healing factor. Varkus swings and slices into Wolverine's face, and Blade tells Wolverine that the drawing was supposed to tell them how to kill Varkus. It isn't a depiction as much as it is an instruction manual. The two position themselves exactly the way they see themselves in the scroll, and they strike down all at the same time. Wolverine rips into Varkus's stomach, while Blade cuts off his head, and the evil vampire's body turns into ash, and this time, it doesn't regenerate. Blade remarks that the prophecy was good for something, and Wolverine looks up at the temple and asks Blade if he always carries explosives around. Blade says that he likes to be prepared and presses a button. Seconds later, the entire temple blows up and crumbles to the ground. Wolverine looks at the fire and asks Blade if he brought any marshmallows, but Blade laughs and says he forgot, and Wolverine scoffs and calls him an amateur. Wolverine vs. Blade is an entertaining one-shot that features an unusual team-up in an unusual circumstance. Because these two are located in the more perilous sections of the Marvel Universe, they make for an intriguing pairing. With Blade now guest starring on the Avengers, we expect to see more of him and the otherworldly aspects he encounters. Essentially, Wolverine vs. Blade can be called a familiar yet thrilling, insanely violent action-adventure starring two of Marvel's most ruthless heroes. Dave Wilkins' artwork is attractive and detailed, but not for children. He also gets additional points for drawing some of the weirdest Wolverine hair we've seen in a long time, although the price tag causes worry. If you've got some spare cash and a taste for violent graphic entertainment, this might be the perfect solution. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, I would like to make a claim on my homeowner's insurance.
Damn, for real? What happened?
Basically, a plumber came in, beat my ass, set my house on fire.
Oh, shit, that's crazy, bro. But we won't cover that.
What the fuck you mean you don't cover it?
We don't cover house fires from plumbers.
What the fuck you mean you don't cover house fires from plumbers? What if my house was set on fire?
Yeah, if your house was just set on fire, that'd be one thing, but it was set on fire by a plumber. So for that kind of fire, we do not cover that shit, sir. I'm sorry.
What kind of specific ass dumb ass shit is that, bro? My house was set on fucking fire. Why does it matter if it was set on fire by a fucking plumber?
We don't cover that shit, sir. We do not cover that shit.
What the fuck? Alright, fuck it. My house was just set on fire. No plumber. No plumber.
Bro, you just told me you had a fucking plumber set your house on fire.
Bro, he was dressed like a plumber. I don't fucking know.
You was 4 seconds ago. You can't fucking backtrack in the middle of the fucking conversation, bro. Come on.
Bro, I'ma just hang up and call back a lie.
How the fuck you gonna tell me you gonna call back a lie, bro? We not, bro. I'm not covering that shit. I'm the only motherfucker working here anyway, so you gonna get me again, bro. So I'm gonna tell you right now, we not
Fuck
covering.
you. I know I shouldn't have fucking signed up with y'all bitch ass.
Fuck you too. Is there anything else I can help with your bitch ass today? Alright, so after the phone call, if you can just take this brief survey about your service and fucking leave a
Motherfucker, no. I ain't doing that shit. Take a damn. What the fuck?
Hey, Daddy.
Oh, fuck no, bitch. You gotta go.
Hey, quit playing. Come over here and smash, bro.
Bitch, no. And who the fuck tied you up?
I did. We got unfinished business. Now come over here and put it in.
Bitch, me and you is over. You got your crazy ass dude coming over here burning down my house. Are you out your
Hey,
fucking
you
mind?
knew what it was when we got together. Now let me get that notorious DIC.
What the fuck is a DIC?
Dick,
Bitch, no, it's not. That's not how you spell it. You know how to spell?
who cares, bro? I do not have to know how to spell. I'm a fucking princess. Spelling is for poor people.
Bitch, get your dumb ass up out of here.
Hey, where you going? Come fuck. What are you doing? At least get me down.
Bitch, my big ass getting up there to get you down. You got yourself up there to get your ass down. Use that dumb ass dress as a parachute.
It's
and
me,
shit.
Mario, motherfucker.
Oh,
You
shit.
thought you was gonna take my bitch again,
Bro,
but I have to see
listen,
these
I
hands.
don't
Now you gotta
want her,
get your
bro.
ass
Look,
rebeat.
I don't want her. You can have her. I did, but you look, bro.
You
tell
sound
her,
like a bitch, Bowser.
bro, look, I'm coming to you as a man, bro. Like,
And man, you a turtle sword.
Hey, can you tell this motherfucker what's going on?
Nope, should have threw me the dick when you had a chance.
Bro, just take her and leave. I don't want no smoke, bro.
Bro, you got
Please.
smoke, bro. I got a fire flower. I'm about to set everything on motherfucking fire. I'm gonna take this mushroom and I'm gonna tear this whole motherfucking house down. Because when I take mushrooms, I get big as fuck for some reason. I don't know, I think it's the gas. But you have officially fucked up.
Hey people, I see you smiling, but did you actually hit that like button though? Well, if you want to check out the next part, you're gonna have to go to my boy Ace Vane's page for that. He got some other funny shit on there too. So yeah, go check it out.
So, alright. Y'all know we on our way up out of here. Thanks for tuning in to Team GWC presents Spider Pig. Y'all make sure y'all check out the links in the description. And always hit the buy me a coffee so y'all can help support the channel. Sign up or donate, whichever one y'all want to do. That's on y'all.
From a web. No, we can't. He's a pig. Look out. He is a spider pig. Spider pig. Spider pig. Does whatever a spider pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, we can't. He's